Since time began, man has been a hunter. First for food and continued survival in a hostile world, and later as a means of financial support for the early explorers and adventurers. Today, sports hunters still take up the challenge of pursuing big and sometimes dangerous game to fulfill man's everlasting instinct for the hunt, and also as a means of assuaging the hunger for adventure far from the civilized enclaves of the cities. Here, in sub-Saharan Africa, the cradle of early man, the challenge of the open bush, clean air, and the scent of danger lure the daring few to pursue the largest of all the land mammals, the elephant. In the tradition of Frederick Courtenay Tlou, Karamojo Bell, Captain Chauncey Hugh Stigand, Ernest Hemingway, and Theodore Roosevelt, comes a new breed of elephant hunter. The African elephant population is stable in only 5 of the 36 countries in which they naturally occur. Namibia and South Africa have over 10,000, Botswana over 50,000, and Zimbabwe over 45,000. With wildlife's natural migratory patterns being destroyed by man's encroachment on their habitat, as well as unrestricted poaching, Africa's total elephant population has halved in the last decade, and in 1990 stood at just over 600,000. In the countries where conservation is practiced, elephant populations have actually increased to the point where they must be managed in order to protect the environment. The total world ban on the ivory trade has been counterproductive to countries who have been successful in preventing poaching. They stand to lose the conservation revenues derived from legal culling. Financially, legal sports hunting is the most viable and effective means of elephant management, with the sports hunter paying as much as $30,000 US for a single trophy animal. From the strictly controlled issue of only 200 ivory permits annually, Zimbabwe earns approximately $6 million US. These revenues far exceed the amount that would be derived from normal culling practices. Dan Smith from San Jose is on his first elephant hunt with outfitter Rusty Labuskaghni.
All the way up to here. Here's the top of it too. Okay, and hit him dead center. If you miss him, we'll go slightly, you'll break your ivory. Down here. So hit him right in the middle. Now this is all trunk here. Okay?
Yeah.
You just hit him right
This is
in
where the top of the trunk comes down.
Just remember there. Just keep in line. Make sure the bullet passes through the ear hole, that axis. You'll be fine. Okay. When we see elephant, I'll show you. We can have a look at them and talk about it. Okay. Okay.
Dan and Rusty are hunting in an area in southeastern Zimbabwe covering in excess of 1 million acres. They find evidence of a big bull within a few miles of leaving camp. The tracks confirm it is indeed a large elephant, and therefore worth following. Rusty and the trackers discuss the direction the elephant has taken. Because it is still early in the season, the long grass and thick vegetation hamper the tracking. After losing the track several times, the going becomes easier as the bush thins out. As the day wears on, the heat becomes more intense, and Rusty hopes that the elephant will head for water. Which is indeed the case. The hunters can't believe their luck. Rusty's estimate is that the bull is carrying a tusk close to the magical 100-pound mark.
100-pound tusk.
Mindful of the wind, the hunters make a careful approach.
Take him again. Good one. In the head. Fine. Good stuff. Well done. Good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, son of a... Yeah.
On the other side, at least 40, you think?
40. It'll be about that long, the other side.
Thank you.
Well done. Shit, well done.
For Dan, the dream comes true. An exceptional 116-pound trophy elephant. The Zambezi Valley, Zimbabwe, has one of the largest concentrations of elephant in southern Africa. Game management in parts of this area has been handed over by national parks to local government, who manage the areas under a program called Campfire, or Communal Areas Management Program for Indigenous Resources. Greg Gibson from Terre Haute, Indiana, arrives in the valley along with outfitter Jeff Rann to meet up with professional hunter Duff Gifford. Greg's primary objective is to complete his Big Five collection by taking an elephant. In contrast to the relatively open Mapani woodlands of southeastern Zimbabwe, the valley is covered with dense, almost impenetrable jess bush. Walking 7 to 8 hours a day through this terrain, where temperatures often exceed 90 degrees Fahrenheit, is a sure test of any hunter's stamina. Here, one often gets to within a few yards of an elephant before seeing or even hearing him. On sighting a non-trophy bull, Duff and Greg discuss the importance of shot placement.
The gland that's got water coming out of it, liquid coming out behind it, there's a slit in the ear. That's the ear hole. Okay, if you wanted to break it now, go just above the eye, to the right a touch. Okay, just above the eye. Bang.
Suddenly, the bull senses movement.
cool it off. Afternoon heat.
It was interesting when he came up onto us.
Yeah.
It was exciting.
He really didn't know.
No, he didn't know until he was really close, and I think he got the foot scent, and then suddenly, as if somebody had beaten him.
When we were standing, you and I, he must have been on 5 yards.
Yes, 5 yards. Lucky we had some brushing between us.
That's great.
The following day, fresh tracks take the hunters back into the thick jess across the river. Having lost the track, the trackers call upon the spirits to give them vision.
All you do is just clap in unison, you don't say anything.
Muona tateguru tatangisa nasi kupinda sanguleni teda tumtikenesi pamanza zvamaita kare hatidi kuendeswa kurefu aiwa teda zvimboitikira muno vanhu vasiwanawo muriwo akaona kuti dzira mhanza kudai here.
Within minutes, the spirits respond by presenting the hunters with a trophy bull. Being only the second day of the hunt, Greg decides to pass in the hope of something bigger. The heat, the insects, and the miles begin to take their toll. Motivated only by many sightings, the hunt is kept alive. Days pass, each spent in close proximity to elephant. But the big trophy bull they seek eludes them. Dawn of the 9th day. The hunter's perseverance pays off. The elephant senses the hunters, making it difficult for a stalk.
range.
The reward of persistence, a fine trophy bull. Hanley Sayers of Nashville, Tennessee, and professional hunter Dougie Stevenson seek their trophy bull in Namibia's bushman land.
Okay. We picked this track up, I guess maybe an hour or so ago, a couple hours ago. We followed the track into the start of the thicket, decided that make a loop and try to go back to a far road to see if the bullet crossed. We did that, came back, he knew he was still in this general area, followed him in his thick stuff that you can see back in here. What do you say, 55, 60 pounds?
About 6'10".
Thick, but not that long. I don't know if you can see it on the camera or not. We got to 25 yards, I guess, of him. He was asleep. He winded one of us, one of the boys, or either us. You could see him, we got alert, and his trunk twitched up a little bit. But we let him be. Back to the races.
There's a whole bunch of them under those trees. But this guy's going to give the game away now. And that's what we do. He's not big enough.
Hanley has hunted elephant for the last 10 years all over Africa. He has stalked and passed on hundreds of jumbo in a quest for his ideal trophy. Bushman land is a vast expanse of semi-arid savanna, which forces hunters to cover great distances in search of fresh tracks. It is often impossible to return to base camp each night, and many are spent in fly camps under the blanket of an African night. The next day produces more big tuskers.
these tracks up. 8 o'clock this morning. They were heading south toward a waterhole called Herrera. We went around to see if they crossed the road yet. Found that they hadn't. I came back up, picked their tracks up, and followed them for, I guess, 6 hours. The sun just heats awful. Caught up with them about 3 o'clock, and they were all over 4 of them. They were bunched under a tree. Real thick. It was too dangerous to go in there. I had to get too close. The wind was swirling around. He shot one of them. The rest of them could have charged, and wasn't really a chance to get a good look at them. We waited for about an hour and a half, and they started to move out. And the 4 of us, being Glenn, the guy with the camera, the game scout by the name of Boniface, Dougie Pooh, and I, been following them for, 3 miles? About 3 miles through this stuff. The one that we thought was going to be pretty good was a little shorter, had the weight but didn't have quite the length. Actually had the length on the left tusk, he didn't have it on the right tusk. And when he kept on turning around, I kept saying, if you seen the right one, because he just didn't look as long as that left tusk was longer than the right tusk. So, verdict was none would make 80, high 70s. So we draw a pass.
It's okay, we take our time, slowly.
It is the morning of the 31st day. Dougie and Hanley pick up on a 27-inch track, which they follow for over 10 miles.
Play yellow picky actor, man. Play picky actor. Play picky actor van ons. Ons moet nie aangaan daar gaan. Hang on. We go to this dead tree and follow me. Let's wait until it turns. We go slowly forward, please. Keep behind me, Andy. Wait till it turns and then you give it to him whenever you're ready. The pleasure is yours. Stay back a bit. Watch out, he's had something. Keep quiet. Give him another spine shot, Andy. that as a doornail. I salute you, old friend.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh.
Yes. Nice. Daar is een markt.
Het om is zo geschiet. Daar,
Oh ja.
daar aan de kant.
On the other side. 31 days,
Oh, snap je?
60th elephant.
Die mensen komen bij ons.
Been hunting for him for 10 years and passed hundreds up for this one.
Snap net die.
It's been all worth it. It's a fantastic trophy. And you just have to have lived what we've lived through for the last 31 days, 32 days. And all the hunts before that, and having passed everything, to wait for this guy. And getting him with only a day or two left. Later, when I'm less emotional about it, we'll talk a little bit about the crossroads and everything else. But this is a grand old gentleman.
Hanley's ivory weighs in at 93 and 88 pounds, respectively. Africa is an uncompromising continent. The harsh reality of human overpopulation often results in encroachment on wildlife habitat. In the daily struggle to survive, impoverished farmers and villagers are driven to overexploit the soil, forests, and pastures. Sharing the same resources inevitably leads to conflict, with the elephant always the loser. Walter Eder of Mainburg, Germany, and professional hunter John Sharp are 3 days into a trophy hunt in northwestern Zimbabwe. After tracking 9 bulls for most of the day, they find nothing worth shooting. On returning to camp at sundown, they receive a report of 2 rogue bulls destroying local villages. They fly out at first light. Professional hunters are expected to help local government in the control of problem animals.
Which one is that? The one on the left? That granary over there. The one in the middle.
Granaries have been destroyed and the food stores consumed, leaving at least 3 villages destitute. Walter and John begin tracking the rogues from the 3rd village. The tracks are fresh, and John is confident that he will find the elephants within a short distance. The bulls have joined a small herd, making immediate identification difficult. The hunters circle downwind to set up for a shot. It is imperative that both bulls go down together, as following up would be both difficult and dangerous. The second bull is mortally wounded, and the hunters try to keep him in sight. As they close in, a young bull from the herd attempts a rearguard action and displays a mock charge.
Okay, he's down. Yeah. Sure. That is good. That much for your thing. He's so heavy though. Oh. Ja, moest dat dienen. Ik viel je moest sterk. Ja, wow.
Thank you.
Ja.
Although Walter didn't get his trophy, a necessary service to the community was fulfilled. Because of the shape and position of the brain, A frontal shot presents a deceptively small target, and a shot left or right of center will damage the ivory. The brain shot ensures an instant, dignified death to a beast respected and revered by man for centuries. On Dan Smith's second hunt, he had that opportunity.
Good. Yeah. That one's heavier than this one. Slow down. 60 pounds? Yeah, 60. That's it.
I dropped it. Yeah.
Hold on.
Well done. Thank you.
You got 60.
Huh? 60.
Just that shorter than that one.
That's not ugly. He didn't even smell us, did he? We're down one.
An old boy, I tell you what. Old. Shit.
Yeah, this is a big elephant. My other one was 113 pounds. This one 42, and this here one will go over 65.
Yeah, 65, 60.
65, 60.